Welcome back. It is the Flow Friday Sports Show on Flow FM, and we're having a look at the Western Eyre Netball Association. And it's great to have a new correspondent for this association, Courtney Trowbridge. Thank you very much for joining me. How are you today?
Yes, good, thank you. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. Just before we do get into the netball, I'm sure listeners of this show will be familiar with your name, regularly getting called out in the Best Players by Rihanna last year. Just give us a quick bit of background about yourself.
So I'm, play for Sevi, normally in the A grade. I am having a year away from the A grade this year as I've just had a baby, but been long-term associated with Sevi, so hopefully can bring some good insight into our competition here in Western Eyre.
Fantastic. Well, it's great to have you on board, and I think the Thevi game is where we'll start. Clearly, they missed you a little bit on the weekend, going down to the Hawks by 6 goals, 42-36. A couple of the powerhouses from last year, both were pushing deep into the finals, and it looks like this was a pretty tight game here.
Yeah, interesting result. I actually thought Hawks might have pulled away a little bit more just with Sevi having some new combinations. It was even for most of the first half. Hawks had a 1-goal lead at quarter time. Sevi had a 1-goal lead at half time. Hawks had a really strong start to the third quarter. Good defensive pressure. They restricted Sevi to just 3 goals in that third quarter and took an 8-goal lead into three-quarter time and really set themselves up for the rest of the game. Sevi were able to halt their play a little bit and peg them back to 6 goals at full time. It was Sevi's first game with their full team. Lots of changes this year, lots of new combinations. I think their coach would have been pretty happy to win 2 of the 4 quarters there. Hawks were without Maddie Nicholson, Shannon Johnson and Alicia Coombs, but did have Chloe Evans step into the goal shooter role. They wouldn't have lacked too much there, but it is a bit of a different combination than what they used to. And in the end, I think their strong defensive pressure won them the game. For Hawks, Tess Murphy played a brilliant debut A-grade game, and Alana Cotton was their best at goal defence, who always plays that really hard one-on-one game, wearing her opponent down. For Sevi, Hayley Williams-Gates and Hayley Jericho in the defensive circle created lots of opportunities and were their best. Hawks with a 6-goal win and their first win of the year, so I think they'll be pretty happy with that.
So Hawks get their first win of the year. Thevenard still seeking their first win. So it's 2 of last year's top 3 teams down in the bottom 3 this year, as are Wirrala still searching for their first win as well, the reigning premiers, after they went down to the Western United Tigers 40-36. So we've spoken about in the past, the Tigers are the sleeping giant, and they're no longer the sleeping giant. They're well and truly awake and, certainly stamp their credentials a bit more with this win.
Yeah, I think Westies will be pretty excited about this. 2 from 2 to start the year. Really even game. Every quarter break was even. Westies just able to capitalise in those dying seconds. Very defensive game with both teams winning a lot of ball but then struggling to convert down the other end. It was Wirrala's first game for the year and trialling some new combinations compared to last year. They have Stacey Lee in at goal attack with Emma Willis at goal shooter. Their coach was pretty happy with their full court combinations. It was Stacey's first game in Wirrala's A grade after spending a few years in their B grade. Westies were still without Durrani Hoffrichter, who is one of the best goalies in the league, so they still have quite a bit of power to come back into their attacking lineup. And they were also without Heidi Warmington, who unfortunately during the week scans did confirm that she ruptured her ACL and she'll be out for the year. So we do wish her all the best with her recovery. That's created a space for Java Shippard to come up into that wing attack role in the A grade. So both teams working on some new combinations early in the year. Westies coach Chloe Ettridge did give credit to Jade Norwood, who was last year's coach, with the immense amount of work they've done on valuing the ball. With Westies able to just create some opportunities in the last 5 minutes and treasure possession, allowing them a 4-goal win, in which was a goal-for-goal game for majority of the 60 minutes. Best players for Wirrala were Montana Freeman with lots of feeds from wing attack, Hayley Webb with lots of turnovers, and Emma Willis with some great shooting as always. Best player for Westies was Jacinta Binstead, who played goal defence and is a new defender for Westies this year and new to the league. I'm yet to see her play, but from all reports, she's a great defender and forming some great combinations down the back with Harriet and Lara. A special mention to Eva Smucker for Wirrala and Dakota Ettridge, for Westies, both young girls, both had their A-grade debuts on the weekend and performed well, so congratulations to those girls. And yeah, Wirral will go away with a little bit to work on. I think 36 goals is quite a low score for them, having Emma down the front, so they'll be looking to improve the volume of ball into Emma, and Westies will be stoked. And they've definitely sent a message to the rest of the competition, carrying momentum from the end of last year. They're strong, they're fierce, and yeah, I think they're the team to watch this year.
Yeah, Westies looking like the team to beat right now, but no one will be beating them this weekend. They've earned themselves a week off. They've got the bye following their good start to the season where they've won their first 2 games. Wirral, on the other hand, they'll be playing Thevenard, and this is shaping up as a very enticing game because no doubt both teams are desperate to get their first win on the board.
Yeah, absolutely. Just on both A-grade games this week, it is at Anzac ground, so there will be a Anzac medal awarded to one player from both of the A-grade matches, which is selected based on players demonstrating the Anzac spirit. But yeah, both Wirral and Zevi looking for their first win. It has been a while since Thevenard has actually beaten Wirral in an A-grade match. Wirral do have their usual team this weekend. They do have a very versatile team, so it'll be interesting to see if Coach Sophie Kellett sticks with the same lineup as last week or maybe has a play with something different. Zevi are missing goal shooter Lan Micken, who will be replaced by Ellie O'Brien, and Dakota Nichols, who will be replaced by Tanita Hazardine. So I believe it's both those girls' first A-grade game for Thevenard. I think this will be another defensive game. Key matchups being Hayley Webb for Wirral in goal defence on Nikki Sleep for Thevenard at goal attack, and Hayley Williams-Gates versus Emma Willis. It will be interesting to see if Zevi do switch Hayley Jericho back into that goalkeeper role. She had some great contests up against Emma last year. I think we all know the key to beating Wirral is stopping the ball before it gets to the circle edge. Emma's so strong and accurate that once it gets there, it's pretty much impossible to beat. So yeah, Zevi will have to work hard on their defensive game at the front. Zevi will have more of a moving goal circle down their end this week, which will give Wirral something else to think about. I do think Zevi down a couple of players, more combinations to work on, that Wirral should get their first win.
And the Hawks are taking on the Blues in Streaky Bay. This one shaping up as a really enticing game as well, with the Blues winning their first and only game so far for the year, and the Hawks probably not keen to drop to 1 and 2. They'd probably rather go to 2 and 1. So yeah, shaping up as a really good one here too.
Yeah, absolutely. Blues are really exciting in their first match, coming from a fair deficit to win that game by 1 goal against Thevenard. And you could just see how excited they were. You can tell they've got a great team culture this year, maybe something they lacked a little bit last year. So it'll be exciting to see where they go this year with great players. They are missing Taylor Collins this week, which will see Hollywood swing back into defence, and young Lakaya Newchurch go into goals with Casey Grenfell. Casey is always a strong target at goal shooter, but they will miss the combo of Holly and Casey there. West Coast Hawks, again, they have multiple players out. I think it will be a few weeks until we see what they have to offer for the year. They're without Rochelle Wheaton, Shannon Johnson, Summer Braz and Alicia Coombs for this week. But they do welcome back Maddie Nicholson in at goal shooter. She was had a great year last year, a big, strong goal shooter. She will team up with Tara Bank in goal attack, who comes up from the B grade for this week. I think key combinations will be Maddie Nicholson on Hayley Clayton. It will be a great matchup, very strong, agile players. I think Alana Cotton will play a vital role in the outcome of this match, especially with that new combination for Blues. Toby Freeman taking on either Kelsey Skinner or Jordan Tonkin through the middle will be a young and exciting matchup. I think it's a hard one to tip. Both teams have some very vital players out, but I might go Hawks in a very close one.
All right, tips in for Hawks, and that is what we've got to look forward to in round 3 of Western Eyre Netball. Big round ahead. Courtney, thank you very much for joining me. Great to have you on board as our correspondent for this year, and I'll speak to you next week.
Thanks, Dan.